around 2 in the morning, rest is getting harder.
Hello, welcome, Devil Sniper here, and today I'm bringing you episode number 9 of our career mode with West Ham United, and we are at the stage of the August monthly review. Yes, we only had 3 games in August, so that's why it's come around so quickly. We played 3, we won 3, we didn't draw, we didn't lose. We scored 4, we conceded 1. Pretty good defensively, even though we did look pretty woeful at times, and we only won 9 points. Yes, only, that's the maximum, 9 from 9, which is fantastic. Of course, the breakdown is all league games. The biggest win was a 2-1 victory against Bournemouth. Not that we had much choice with 2 1-0ers and a 2-1 victory. We didn't lose, so that's non-applicable. The player of the month is, of course, Faguli. He was outrageous, and the goal of the month was Faguli against Bournemouth. I really wanted to do Faguli's goal line clearance as the goal of the month, but it's not a goal, so I can't. I could have had play of the month, which probably would have been a better idea. Looking at the league table, it is absolutely bizarre. You have Liverpool in 19th, City in 17th, Leicester in 16th, Southampton in 18th. You then have Chelsea in 10th, Arsenal in 11th, Everton in 9th. Burnley are in 4th. It's ridiculous. The table at the start of the season is just absolutely mental. We're up there, but leading the table is Sunderland. Who would have absolutely Adam and Eve it? Who would have? Ridiculous. Leading goal scorers is a bit early in the season, but it's just nice to see who's getting on the goal scoring sheet. And if you actually look at the list, there's not many strikers banging in the goals. There's a lot of midfielders banging in the goals, which is ridiculous. Of course, Jakob, a CDM, playing deep, is getting assists, which is fantastic. Obviously, you've got a few strikers on here who are getting the odd assist, which is understandable because some of them are target men. From a clean sheet perspective, Randolph is absolutely out of this world. He is doing so well. We had 2 1-0ers and we had a 2-1. So he went big in the 2 1-0 games, which is absolutely fantastic. And I'm really chuffed for the lad. I have to say, I'm really chuffed for the lad. And hopefully, with the situation with Adrian that's going on, he's just going to develop and get better and better. I know he's in the latter stages, of his 20s. So it's not as if he's going to have great development. But if we keep working with him, we keep pushing him, we could develop him into a world-class goalkeeper or a keeper that can do us a good enough job to get us through this season, where perhaps coming next summer we'll make some big changes coming into the goalkeeper, because I don't know if it's going to be sensible to do it in January, but we'll just have to see how the season goes, to be honest. From a financial perspective, we're not doing too bad. We're shifting the shirts. We're definitely shifting the shirts out, which is absolutely fantastic, and I'm dead chuffed with that. Our budget is redonkulous. We have plenty of pound coins in the bank. Hopefully we don't have to take them out in pound coins. We can take them out in notes. That'll be pretty sweet. And we have the same with our wage budget. We have a really, really good wage budget. Of course, Adrian feels underpaid, which is ridiculous. We gave him a phenomenal contract. And as I said previously, as the manager, I'm not going to turn around and bow down to the player and say, I will give you a year extension, knowing that in 6 to 8 months he's going to come back and want double bubble. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to work that way. And if the player can't get his head around it, or I should say his agent can't get his head around it, because he's the one who ultimately wants some extra quids in his back burner, it's just not going to happen. And unfortunately, the player is going to have to leave the club. Hopefully it won't come to that. Hopefully we can rectify the situation, and I will be working really, really really hard behind the scenes to sort this situation out. Are you? Unfortunately, he's not going to be back for 4 weeks. Well, if you break that down, he's not going to be back for about 6 to 7 weeks, which is a great shame, because he is a player that I really wanted to see this season, to see how he's developing. But hopefully we'll get him back just before December, maybe November. Get him fit and I'll be dead chuffed. Now, of course, Dimitri Payet has gone down in a rating. He's now 85, -1, which I don't understand. He's getting an average rating of 8 in the European Continental Shield, aka the Cup. And of course, in the Premier League, he's got an 8.4 with an 8.2 overall average, which is fantastic. Why has he dropped on his stamina reactions? The boy has been outrageous. He's been one of the highlights of the season so far, and we're only 3 games into it. If you include the European Continental Shield, Cup, he's really dominated in 6 games that he's participated in. He's probably been our most outstanding player, and we all know the only reason that Faguli won the player of the month is simply down to the fact he made Sideshow Bob, David Luiz, look a complete and utter mug. He tore him an absolute new arse. It was ridiculous. But to be fair, Faguli in all of his games, bar that goal line clearance, which I had to have the photo of him doing that because it was just outrageous, had been phenomenal. And Payet probably feels a little bit sorely done that he should have won man of the match in a couple of those games, but it was literally hairline decision. Of course, against Manchester City, Dimitri did come up with the man of the match. He played, it wasn't one of his most flamboyant games, but he'd done enough to get man of the match, and of course he slotted home that penalty, which was really, really, really important. And of course, there is your player of the month for Coolidge. 62 passes, 84% pass accuracy, 12 tackles from 18, 6 shots on target from 10, 1 goal, 2 man of the matches from a possible 3. Absolutely outrageous. And why was he man of the match? Why was he player of the month? Literally, just watch him. He tore Chelsea to shreds. I only chose clips from the Chelsea game because he had that many. He had that many moments in that Chelsea game, in that first half, that really, really just set it up for us. We played so well, and he was so important to us. You know, he has that ability to cut inside and take that shot, and he's not scared to cut inside, to take on the fullback, to take on the centre-back, especially when Chelsea were doubling up on him. He still had the balls to create opportunities. He had the shot that Courtois saved, and then Payet finished. He was absolutely outrageous, and that is the goal line clearance, which is still, in my brain, unbelievably mind-boggling, ridiculous. But the goals for the whole month, of course, the first goal is Dimitri Payet, as you see there. Coolidge stepping inside, Payet with a nice finish. Courtois nearly saved that. I don't know what would have happened if Courtois had saved that. It would have been ridiculous. But Payet steps inside, has the shot. It's blocked. Coolidge shoots, reacts, shoots, gets a deflection, bottom corner. You could see that not only West Ham as a team wanted it, but Coolidge wanted it. He wanted it so much. And of course, Nordfeldt slotting home the winner against Bournemouth. Fantastic deep line running from him, I have to say. You know, he is phenomenal. He is such a good CDM. And of course, to finish off the month, we had that 1-0 victory against Manchester City. Probably not the most spectacular game, but it was one of those games where two big teams collide and they sort of nullify each other, but it was one hell of a game, and thankfully we came out the right side. Coming up in September, we will be playing Watford. Then we have an away trip to West Bromwich Albion, which will be a tough game. That will be a tough game. The home game against Watford will be tough, to be honest. Then, of course, we have a home game, I should say, against West Brom in the Cup, and then we finish off with a home game against Southampton. Yes, September's coming up. It's going to be a big one. Hopefully you'll join me, and until then, I will catch you later.